Morning, everybody. Hope you're okay. It's Kate from the HR branch here. I'm nipping on because May is Information Management Month, and that's partly because the Information Records Management Society conference is on in a few days, on the 12th to the 14th of May. So our thoughts turn to all things information, people, data protection, both for us as a small business, but also for you and your businesses too. There's plenty going on in 2024, but before we dive into what that looks like in the next episode, what we're going to do in this one is have a look back at 2023 and the hot topics that came up in that year and what they tell us about what's coming up for this year and beyond. First of all, we're going to talk about cybersecurity. Now, this is a really hot topic. In 2023, there was a directive from the European Union, and that is going to be introduced into the UK in 2025. Although that might seem like a way off, it really isn't. We're already into May this year, 2024. And what the new guidance is going to do is going to provide guidance frameworks and some standards to protect us as individuals and also organisations from the rise of cyber risk, which, as we know, is on the increase. So along with cybersecurity, artificial intelligence was big in the news in 2023, and I think that's going to be a trend that's going to continue ad infinitum, to be honest with you. There are various thoughts as to whether it's a positive thing or it presents a risk to us. The white paper published by the government in 2023 sought to strike a balance between the two things. So I think we do need to keep an eye on it. I think there are good things that can come out of it, but I also think it does present risks for us, particularly as employers. So we will keep an eye on that and we'll keep you updated, but also for your own businesses, if there's things that are useful to you to use for AI, then obviously go ahead and do that, but also keep an eye on it from a risk perspective also. What happened in 2023 with regards to the Information Commissioner's Office was really interesting. So they issued a huge fine to Meta, who is the business, if you don't know, that runs Instagram and Facebook. Now, Meta were found to be in breach of GDPR regulations back from 2020, from when they transferred data from Ireland over to the US and as personal data, and they were in breach of the GDPR. It's the largest fine that's ever been issued. And I think that was a signal by the ICO to everybody to say, we've got teeth, we are prepared to use them, and therefore we're going to really make Meta pay for their breaches. And they were significant breaches, obviously. So there's more to come down the pipe on that one, and we'll be talking about that in a later episode. Also, back in 2023, the ICO and the CMA issued a joint statement, and this was about behavioural advertising and cookies. And really what they were talking about was how much has a person, as an individual consumer, how much influence have they got over what they purchase, bearing in mind the extent to which large organisations and smaller organisations use behavioural advertising and cookies. And included it within that, the ICO wrote to over 50 companies in the UK to talk to them about their statements and the way that they manage data with regards to cookies. This is towards the end of 2023. They gave them 30 days to comply. Just about most of them are now in compliance. But what's interesting is that the ICO have said that they're working on an AI tool to be able to identify other websites who are not in compliance, and therefore they will be in contact with other organisations. So we've got information management tools sorting information management problems out for the ICO there. So that is something to keep your eye on, and I think that will just keep coming up and being in the press in 2024 and beyond. Lastly, but definitely not least, is the UK Data Reform Bill. So this has been in the pipeline for a little while, and there was more about it coming up in 2023, and we're going to come on to talk about it in the next episode. But it's still in draft form. However, there are a few headlines that I'll just summarise now before I sign off, which is that there's going to be more clarity around reporting data breaches and the timelines within which organisations need to do that. There's going to be more information about data privacy statements and tightening up on those. There's going to be higher fines. So that links back to what we were talking about with Meta. ICO are going to be able to issue higher fines, and they're going to have even more powers to try and make people and organisations comply with the data regulations. And there are going to be specific child provisions, which I know will be music to our ears, including the requirement for parents to give consent for children's data to be accessed and used. So that's a very whistle-stop tour through what happened in 2023 and what that tells us about what's coming up. In the next episode, we're going to talk about the UK Data Reform Bill, what that means to you, and some other information about what to look out for. Okay. If you need any other information, get in touch with us at the HR branch. How to do that is coming up. Okay, cheers. Bye.